Campbell. What was the reaction? What has the reaction been to the title of your current stand-up show? I'm going to get a ticket while they're still cheap. Mortality. I don't know. I suppose. I mean, all my titles are sort of. They're largely irrelevant. It's something to hang off. There's a slight theme, but you always end up talking about the same sort of stuff, don't you? Your life, what you've seen. I deal in the same subjects. I always have, because I'm interested in the big subjects, you know, life and death and morality and all that. So I don't think the reaction to the show's been great, but it always is. Every time I do a show, I'll tour for a year. Every night is fantastic, sold out, everyone loved it. It's not until it goes on Netflix and someone gets a clip and someone puts it up and says, this is disgusting. And everyone goes, yeah, it's awful. They weren't there. They weren't there. So I only do it for the people who bought a ticket, got up, went out. I do it for them and they have a great night. Now it goes on Netflix. I'm not really bothered, but because people can then package outrage. They go to a show, they can't really go, there's nowhere to go. What do? Tweet, I didn't like it. Someone goes, oh, whatever. But when they get a little clip and go, look at this terrible bit, look at this awful, offensive bit, people can go, yeah. But the good thing about that sort of thing is it's come out the other side. No one really cares now. You know, the last sort of few years, people have been able to stir up trouble. But you just ride the waves, or I did. And now, I think no one even cares. Now someone tries to stir up trouble, people go, yeah, you're a we know. We assumed. Which is good. I think they sort of overplayed their hand a little bit. They cried wolf too many times. So I suppose that's the good thing that's come out of cancel culture. People just go, shut up. They still try though. Good luck to them.
When do you think America will have a female president?
When there's a competent one?
I don't engage much now on Twitter because it's sort of pointless. Everyone just falls into two tribes. It's just like cults now. There's no nuance. You can't discuss anything. No one looks at the argument anymore. Anyway, even if you can discuss it, no one looks at the argument. They decide what side you're on, and if you're on the wrong side, they discredit you somehow. They don't want to discuss it. And it is creating a new sort of dogma.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was
supposed to be doing
and in charge of. I mean, as a school teacher, if I did not do what I was supposed to be doing, you better believe my job would be in jeopardy. Well, it isn't. Not only was her job not in jeopardy, she was just handed a promotion.
Is there anyone that Kamala Harris could appoint as her vice president that you would find reassuring? Would make you consider voting for her?
No. Never consider voting for her. No.
I would do RFK Jr. way before her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And she's not the first woman to run for the presidency, Hillary Clinton. I'm assuming no one voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So it's not necessarily going to sway you to vote for a woman in office. When do you think America will have a female president?
When there's a competent one?
I don't get a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot.
Right.
Mary, why do you think that she's not that bright?
Because she hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. We don't know anything about her as far as her 3 years so far in the White House. She's not real smart.
We've had dogma in religion for years, that which should not be questioned. And now we've got it in politics. You can't even have to question something. It's crazy. people shot down, people scared to even ask a question, so they opt out, you know. And then people are angry that people don't speak up. Well, because they can sort of do without it.
Some here are frightened now just to go outside.
Now it feels like that whole section
we're doing that, and that's what
is just not available to the community
asking our local elected
anymore.
So
our parks are not available to
Can't go there.
anymore.
Search out and give us a list of all of the empty lots that there are.
Migrants from a 4,000-bed shelter nearby fill the sidewalks. They sit on park benches, on stoops and curbs, under the BQE overpass. So many people crowded in here, residents feared what was coming.
We have been witnessing the escalation in violence on the street and in the community for months now.
We've been pleading with the mayor, as we've seen increased, that this was going to be inevitable.
And everything's amplified and exaggerated because there's no nuance in a tweet. People go down the tweets and see who people follow now, and they go, "Oh, I thought you'd follow him." Well, you should read more than one opinion. You should speak to all different people and argue with them. If there's one thing that all sides should agree on, it's free speech. And even that is trying to be closed down and restricted now. People are making up their own terms. It's ridiculous. It is. If you're mildly right wing on Twitter, you're Trotsky. You're like Trotsky. If you're mildly right wing, you're like Hitler. If you're mildly left wing, you're like Trotsky. If you're centrist, it's not appreciated by both sides. It's hated by both sides because they want you. It's like a game of British bulldog politics now. So it starts off right, and then soon, you've got them all. You're all on the same side, and so you have to fight amongst yourselves. And it is that thing that you'll never be woke enough not to be eventually destroyed by your own people, because everyone is saying, "Oh, well, you agree with that? Well, I agree with it even more. And look, I want these people who even slightly disagree with me. That's how perfect I am." But what goes around comes around. I've seen it before. At the beginning of Twitter, people would have a go at you about their issue, and they'd slam you, and you say the wrong term or something, and then it would be a pile-on, and people would be shut down or delete their account, and it was like a victory. But then I noticed those people, those ringleaders, would say the wrong thing for someone else's cause, and the same thing would happen to them. And then a few of them started thinking, "Oh, maybe I've been unreasonable. Maybe we should discuss this." maybe discussion and the arena of ideas. That's why it works. Yeah, it's crazy. It is a new dogma. It's cults just shutting down free speech because you're on the wrong side. It's mad, and they do it. They think they're doing it in the name of good. They think no, because everyone thinks they're on the right side. No one goes around going, "No, I'm a really nasty, awful piece of work who doesn't know anything. I'm just full of hate, right? I just want to destroy lives, right?" But no one thinks that. Everyone thinks they're on the right side. And now it's a competition to be who's the rightest, who's the most right. I am. And that's why eventually people amongst themselves, everyone's got to be 100% on your side. If they do one little thing wrong, they're destroyed. It's like, it's crazy. I remember, my mate, Warwick Davis, the actor, been loads of stuff. You know him. And he's like 3 foot something. He's got a form of dwarfism, and never let it Never let it get in the way. He never plays the victim. Got a great family and kids who are bulletproof because of great parenting, you know? And he told me that if he's in the supermarket or somewhere and a little kid sort of stares at him, he sees the mother go, pull him away like that. And Warwick hates that because he wants to talk to the kid. He wants the kid to ask questions so he can answer them. And then he talks to the kid, explains why I am Warwick, I'm an actor, this is what happened. And the kid thinks, yeah, great, yeah, he's short, so what? And Warwick loves that. That's what Warwick wants to happen. And he gets the parents doing it sort of for him, like, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings, or I don't want to be embarrassed by my kid. But he doesn't like it when they don't let a kid question this. That's how we learn, by questioning things. There's no right or wrong questions. No right or wrong questions. That doesn't make sense, right? There are only right and wrong answers. And whenever someone says to me, you know, you shouldn't question this, that's not how we progressed. That's not how we cured diseases or put a man on the moon. It was by questioning and questioning. Science tries to prove itself wrong, and when it can't, what it's got is the most right answer so far. Science, at any point, is the least wrong it's been. And I love it when people say that science is flawed because it's been wrong before. How can correcting yourself be a flaw? It's things like, oh, you should never question this. It was written 4,000 years ago, but you should never question it. That's dogma. Oh, anyway, that was a rant, wasn't it? No one cares. Most people don't even understand what I was talking about. Anyway, so yeah, I try not to get too in, but I'll do the odd retweet or stupid comment. But I just don't get into these weird that consume people's lives, tearing families apart now. Politics, identity politics, dogma versus reason and inquiry. I remember when I was growing up, everyone I knew, they're like, Dad voted Tory, Mum voted Labour, or vice versa. That was it. There was no discussion. There's no discussion. Now, a difference of opinions rips families apart. It's f***ing mental.
Right, now listen, we're running late, so I'm going to be off this stage in 30 seconds, whether Albert John is fucking ready or not. Now, thank you for coming to this event to save the world. If this doesn't do it, I don't know what will. To put this together, we had to throw in flying comedians and actors and rock stars from all over the world, some of them in private jets. They use up a lot of fuel, but it saves queuing. So, please, put your hands together for the man who introduced this band to the world in this documentary film, Spinal Tap. Mr. Marty DeBergi.
Russell Brand and Ricky Gervais, try and behave yourself, gentlemen, if you can.
Do that again and do the names.
No, I'm not doing it again. That's fine.
Like he's Russell Brand and I'm Ricky Gervais.
I think people can work this out. Yeah. I think people can work it out. The short one and the tall one, so don't worry about that. Now, as far as you're concerned,
which is which?
I don't know. I haven't worked that out yet. As far as you're concerned,
that's his attack. That's his first attack on you, Ricky. What's he going to say about me?
Right. Okay, should we talk about something else now?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, climate change. All right.
Okay.
Are you here tonight just to enjoy the content?
I'm not here
to
tonight.
do the job.
I'm not even here tonight. He is. This is live. This is pre-recorded.
Right. Okay. Well, this is all going horribly wrong.
You asked us.
I know.
I'm
regretting it now. I'm regretting it now.
No, it's a pleasure to be here, and everyone here is an absolute professional.
Except him. It's a shambles. Are you drunk?
Not yet. Not yet. Now, climate change. Then, is it something that you're interested in, or are you just here for the booze?
He's not holding that microphone.
Perched.
I should tell you what his other hand's doing.
All right, no, never mind. Look, it's holding this, so don't worry about that. Don't believe everything you hear from this man. So I'll ask you, climate change. Is it something you think seriously about?
You're the preferable one.
Right.
Imagine that. Someone would rather talk to you than someone else. Go on.
Quite a mark on your character that he's turned to me. Yeah, of course I care about climate change. Now, as individuals, we can do an awful lot. You, for example, you're going to have to change the way you're living your lifestyle. Don't look all cynical.
How do you know I live my lifestyle?
No, look, the idiot. It's important. He don't care about nothing.
Killing turtles for a laugh.
He does do that.
So climate change. My lifestyle.
Your lifestyle, particularly the way you turned up here on a jet bike, making women pregnant on his team just for a jolly.
That was a vicious rumour.
You're like a modern day Jack the Ripper, you are.
Right, thank you for that.
Oh, that's...
Okay, bring back Keane. Right, okay, but seriously, guys.
Okay, no, seriously.
Right, do you really think that this sort of concert makes any difference whatsoever? There's a message out there, climate change. You guys are here having a good time. Everyone else is in the audience. Do you think it's significant?
It does make a difference because a lot of the acts were flown in by private jet. So that's added to the emissions no end.
Right, okay, so it's a bad thing then?
I just want people to let Nelson Mandela go.
Yeah,
get him out.
And Maggie.
Let Mandela go.
And Charlie from Big Brother.
Charlie's got to be freed sooner or later, one of these days. Well, yeah, I think if all of us as individuals do the occasional thing, like me now, I can make you happy. A little shove there. You see, it's made a little difference to the world. By doing small things, we can make a difference. We don't have to do a big
thing. Like him.
I think that's right. I don't clean my teeth now and let the tap run.
I don't do that.
No, exactly. I don't clean my teeth. I recycle. But I don't. Do you find it hard walking through busy built-up areas now? We have to have a car with blacked-out windows, don't we? And that adds to it. I used to walk everywhere.
You have to walk everywhere. Go on rollerblades or something.
Yeah. No, they shout, "Do the dance." To you, which is weird.
And I can't do the dance,
Of course you can. Go on.
No. If it comes to that point, I think it's been a grim afternoon here at Wembley if I find myself doing that dance. Crikey.
I think I've actually had enough of all this now. I can't get any sense out of these two at all. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to.
Now say the truth.
Turn the light off.
Back to you in the studio.
Campbell, what was the reaction? What has the reaction been to the title of your current stand-up show? I'm going to get a ticket while they're still cheap. Mortality. I don't know. I suppose. I mean, all my titles are they're largely irrelevant. It's something to hang off. There's a slight theme, but you always end up talking about the same sort of stuff, don't you? Your life, what you've seen. I deal in the same subjects. I always have, because I'm interested in the big subjects, life and death and morality and all that. So I don't think the reaction to the show's been great, but it always is. Every time I do a show, I tour for a year, every night is fantastic, sold out, everyone loved it. It's not until it goes on Netflix and someone gets a clip and someone puts it up and says, "This is disgusting," and everyone goes, "Yeah, it's awful." They weren't there. So I only do it for the people who bought a ticket, got up, went out. I do it for them and they have a great night. Now it goes on Netflix. I'm not really bothered, because people can then package outrage. They go to a show, they can't really go, there's nowhere to go. What do? Tweet, "I didn't like it." Someone goes, "Oh, whatever." But when they get a little clip and go, look at this terrible bit, this awful, offensive bit, people can go, "Yeah." But the good thing about that sort of thing is it's come out the other side. No one really cares now. With the last sort of few years, people have been able to stir up trouble. But you just ride the waves, or I did. And now, I think no one even cares. Now someone tries to stir up trouble, people go, yeah, you're we know. We assumed. Which is good. I think they sort of overplayed their hand a little bit. They cried wolf too many times. So that I suppose that's the good thing that's come out of cancel culture. People just go, shut the up. They still try though. Good luck to them.
For years, radio was a way of, I don't know, but you could privately engage with people, and they felt like you, at the best, they felt like you were a friend of theirs that they would listen to, you know, on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm. And then how did you sort of work the material of then your podcast with Ricky Gervais, the Ricky Gervais Show? Before, was it sort of pre-planned, or was it like a more organic?
Well, when it was initially, it was just Ricky and I on a radio station, and we would kind of have a quick chat beforehand, and then we would just make up as we went along. And then we got given this producer, Carl Pilkington, and we asked him a question. He was just there to press the buttons and make tea and things. I forget, we asked him a question, or he was telling a story or something, and he said something about blah, 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 and the neighbours, you know, and they were the neighbours that had a horse in the living room. Anyway, and we were like, what do you mean anyway? Let's go back to the neighbours with the horse in the living room. And for him, that wasn't the interesting part of the story. And we quickly realised that he was sort of gold dust, you know, and he just, almost anything that you asked him was just dynamite, because he just had this completely unique view of the world. You know, we were talking once about celebrities who are only famous because of who their father is. So you know, Callum Best, whose father was footballer George Best, Bianca Gascoigne, you know, lots of, and we were saying they're only famous because of who their dad is, and Carl said, well, you could say the same thing about Jesus. and you're sort of like, yeah, that kind of makes sense in a way. And I remember we asked him once to explain evolution, and he said something like, evolution's easy, isn't it? It's you know, it's like slugs, monkeys, mermaids, man. You know, of course it is. And so he was just a never-ending, you know, supply of. It's like if you'd found a magic lamp, you know, and you could just rub it every week, and magic would come out, really. And so then it really became a show about him, really. And off we went. And so there was never any planning there. I mean, it was just showing up and winding Carl up until he spoke.
Can you see the Carl Pilkington radio shows coming back at any time?
The thing is with that is, people ask me, and I do miss it, and I even now and again listen to some of the old ones. Did everyone hear that question? Is Carl Pilkington's our podcast coming back? I don't think it would work. I think Carl became my little public experiment. It was like a cross between.
Because it felt so unscripted.
It was unscripted.
And that was
totally
what
unscripted.
was.
That is real. It was unscripted. He was like my little experiment, like a cross between. I don't know. Have you seen the film Lawnmower Man? It was like, okay. A cracking reference to anyone who has. But I always thought that Carl was like, I'd found a 10,000-year-old caveman and shaved it, thawed it out, put clothes on it, and then tried to teach it sort of art and philosophy and science. And I think, because he had a good brain, I kept telling him, I said, you've got a good brain. You've got a good brain, you just don't use it, right? And, you know, he found things that interested him, which were spurious and often apocryphal or nonsense, just things on the internet, you know, baby born, half monkey, half. I was going, it's not true, Carl, it's not true. He'd go, look at him. I go, it's just a hairy kid. He's a hairy kid. He's 100% human. He's got a lot of hair. It says here he's half monkey. It doesn't matter what it says there, Carl. It's not half monkey. But I think he became sort of a little bit more worldly wise.
I suppose it's that chemistry that you guys captured in that show. It's hard to replicate that kind of chemistry.
You couldn't contrive it. I discovered him. He opened his little slack jaw once, and he said something, and I just, my ears went up like that, and I just thought, this guy's interesting. It's like I found him under a rock. So I don't think it would be the same. I don't think it would be the same. He's sort of retired now.
It doesn't matter how many times I re-listen to it. It's still golden.
I listen to it about, people send me tweets of like clips, and I'd completely forgotten about them. But it's like the first time he heard about something that I might introduce a concept to him, and it's the first time, and I can hear his brain working. It's like a silence where, you know, he'd say things to me like childlike. He'd say things like, he said, "What's the most amazing fact ever?" I go, "What do you mean?" He said, "Tell me something that'll blow my mind." I said, "Well, the nature of infinity is pretty amazing." I said, "Okay, here's one." I said, "There are as many even numbers as even and odd numbers put together." He went, "No." I told him the theory that, you know, the model of the infinity, the infinite amount of chimps working on typewriters would write it was Shakespeare. He wouldn't have that. He said, "Have they read Shakespeare?" I went, "That's nothing to do with it." I said, that's nothing to do with it, right? He'd go, "I just don't think they do that." I go, no, take out cognitive reason. There's no choice. They've chosen monkeys to take out choice and reason. They're just hitting away like that, and he just couldn't get it. He couldn't get that it was so I think he's learned his lesson, and I think he's sort of content. I just don't think it would work now.
I wonder if we would have been censored more, because I feel like we're living in an age now that is a little bit more sensitive to things, and maybe we wouldn't get away with it. I don't know.
And kind of then in that vein, especially with An Idiot Abroad, the humour is known to be slightly more tongue-in-cheek, slightly more offensive.
Offensive?
Offensive? Yeah, slightly.
Okay. No, fair enough. Again, I mean, I don't mean that disingenuously. I think because to me, Carl is like a sort of idiot man-child. It's hard. It's like if a child says something offensive, it seems harder to take it seriously, if you know what I mean. And I think because of knowing Carl, that is sort of how I take it. But I can certainly see from the outside, it looks like he's offensive.
Yeah, but do you think in perhaps like our slightly more politically correct world, it's harder for comedians to sort of do their job because they're having to constantly tread the line and evaluate whether they are being offensive, as opposed to just trying to be funny?
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? Because Carl, you know, for instance, just to take Carl as an example in that show, you know, he's travelling the world and he's reacting authentically to the world around him, and he's ignorant. I mean, he is the little Englander personified. You know, he's a man, I'm not joking, who takes little bags of tea bags when he goes to, you know, Mauritius or something for 2 weeks. You know, he, like my parents might, you know, he's someone who, you know, he's someone who will go on holiday when he chooses to go on holiday and immediately look for a cafe that serves a full English breakfast, you know, while in Spain. And I think, therefore, if you send him to far-flung places, he reacts, you know, in an authentic way. That's not him trying to fish for the controversial thing to say. I think he is just reacting, and I think it's not. I don't think it's born from prejudice. I think a lot of it is born from ignorance or naivety, and I think sometimes that lands him into hot water, and other times it's sort of is weirdly sweet. Like I remember him visiting the wall that divides, you know, Israel from Palestine, and him just kind of just baffled by it. Like he was just like, it's so ugly. I don't understand. Like he doesn't understand the nuance of that debate. So to him, he's just this like a child seeing this monstrosity and kind of not understanding it. And so, you know, it's sweet in a way.
Time at XFM is often seen as being sort of the beginning of the podcast era, and helping sort of pioneer this new sort of resurgence of radio, maybe in a new form of entertainment. Are you proud of that sort of cultural legacy? Did you have anything anywhere that size in mind when you started out?
Well, it's funny, you know, as you walk around the union, you see those pictures of, you know, pioneers in various fields like, you know, Einstein and Malcolm X, and we got Carl Pilkington to, you know, talk about eating, you know, when he's in the jungle. So yes, a pioneer in every sense. But I didn't know what a podcast was, and Ricky suggested there's this new thing where, you know, you download it straight to your iPod at the time. Whatever, okay, I no idea. And we started doing them, and then it was fun because you had none of the restrictions of radio. It's obviously with radio you're still restricted in what you can say within reason. With a podcast at the time, it was gloves off, you could say anything. And it just suddenly, we were in the Guinness Book of Records for the number of downloads. I mean, that's because there was literally no one else doing it, so it's easy to win a world record when no one else was doing it. But now, as a keen podcast fan, I love it. I'm very proud that we were kind of ahead of the curve on that. And it's funny, I've done people's podcasts since, and they've talked about ours as being kind of instructive and informative for them. And I've met people, you know, I was in Vietnam, I met people listening to the podcast, and people all over the world, because there's a great democratization with that. You can just download it from anywhere in the world and listen, and that's, I think, one of the most exciting things about media now that since when I began, is that it's kind of wide open. It's like an international field. You know, if you want to do a podcast about...
Well, I was just going to say, the reason I asked that question, because you were talking about Carl Pilkington earlier, and like, I don't know if you would say that he's a clever man, but he was certainly incredibly funny.
He was incredibly funny, but it was his attitude that was funny. And if you took it by himself, there was still the relationship. He still needed a couple of pretentious media types thinking that they were winning, but they were losing, because he didn't care what we thought. So there was still a little bit of a dynamic going on. Not just... If Carl Pilkington went on the radio and said, all right, world, here's what I think, monkeys and that, people would go, why is this bloke telling it? But because he was goaded by a couple of pseudo-intellectual media types thinking that they were embarrassing him, there became a texture to it, and people wanted him to win. People loved him winning. Winning would maybe making me laugh, or being proved right for something that, you know, so there was still something going on. It wasn't just a man saying stupid things. So yeah.
I think in the first series he did not know what was coming, ever. And he was genuinely alarmed. And there's a lot on the cutting room floor of him just angry. You know, not entertaining for anybody, it's just him, no, fucking... I think by the second series, in order to persuade him to go, we didn't tell him the specifics, but we would give hints, just because he just refused to go otherwise. But normally the limits, if we were pushing him to the limits, that was not him play acting, that was him almost sort of trying to negotiate with the producers, you know, as to exactly... I mean, the bungee jumping, you know, I mean, we wanted him to do the full bungee jump and he refused, and he does some tiny little... I forget, but doesn't he just jump off from a foot? He jumps from there to there, and it's pathetic. And so now, and then of course ultimately he's doing his own stuff now because he doesn't want to share the money with us, or sensibly be tortured without him knowing it. Because that's the thing, you know, once you make someone a celebrity, they then have a lot of power, and they can turn around and go, no, why on earth would I eat a sheep's in the jungle? You know. But it's not him sort of turning it on for the cameras, really. It's not manufactured in that way. Yeah. And I think when you are very tall, and if you've got glasses or whatever, or you I don't know, you when you're a teenager, you know, you have those insecurities, and I remember someone saying to me once, you know, in an interview, do you think that you use humor to control when people laugh at you? And that might be true, that might be just a fancy way of saying it, but I think there's some truth in that. And I think because I always sort of felt a little bit awkward in that way, it seemed natural to make fun of the way I looked, or the height, or whatever, sort of before anyone else did. And then as we moved into working with other people, you know, certainly when I met Ricky, he was short and fat, and in my mind old. In actual fact, he was younger than I am now, but there we are. And you know, Carl obviously does have a head like a fucking orange. So you use what you can have. Plus, also just sort of physicality is you know, the using your body, particularly if you're tall. You know, I think just it's fun.
Leave
It
Carl
might not be.
Pilkington alone. The
I
poor
love
man-
Carl Pilkington.
Yeah, but
I love Carl
he must hate you. Does he hate you?
No, he loves me. We're best friends, but I'm just fascinated with him. We're best.
Does he have a family, Carl Pilkington?
What, sorry?
Does he have a family?
He has a girlfriend of, like, I think 18 years.
Children?
Who's no children, no pets. No.
How is he treated in public at large?
He doesn't go in public, really. He puts a little woolly hat on. He doesn't.
Is he well respected among his peers?
I think so. I think people are confused by him.
By him.
Some people think he's a character that I write his lines for him. Some people think.
Do that thing about where the humans and chimpanzees.
I've been trying to. He didn't really go to school much. He went to school a couple of times. But over the last 10 years, I've been trying to sort of inflame his imagination. And he's got a good brain. He just hasn't used it. You know what I mean? It's. No, but I was saying to him that chimpanzees are genetically identical to human beings, right? 98.6% genetically identical. And I said, think of that, Carl. 1.4% difference. And Carl said, that's got to be the arse. Isn't that great? So good.
Yeah, I think he's right.
He's right. I was talking to him once, and again, he's fascinated with science and nature, and I was saying, Carl, there's a programme on tonight on television, it's called The Truth About the Giant Squid. And he went, who's been lying about it up till now? He's amazing. He's fantastic. I was telling him once, we did a Christmas podcast about the Nativity, and I said, well, you know, allegedly 3 wise men came on the day of Jesus' birth, and they brought him presents of gold, frankincense and myrrh. And Carl said, well, them presents for his birthday or Christmas.
Wow. That's good. And now you're sending him around the world on a bicycle with the star of the Life's Too Short show.
Yeah, Warwick Davis, who's a dwarf actor. And when I pitched the idea to Carl, we've just finished two series of An Idiot Abroad, where I sent him around the world, and then we're going to do a special. And I thought I'd step it up, and I said to Carl, I said, this time you're going around the world, but on a bicycle with Warwick Davis, the dwarf, in a basket. Right? And he didn't say, well, that's ridiculous. He said, so I'm doing all the peddling.
Ricky, let me ask you about Carl Pilkington. He is this great discovery that you made. There he is. He has a monkey on his back. You found this guy, and basically all you've done is ask him to be himself. He's a fascinating character.
Honestly, I feel like Anthony Hopkins in The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Like I found this oddity, and I'm taking him round the world.
Where did you find him?
By the way, this is true. That's Carl's favourite film, The Elephant Man. He loves it. It's weird. I wish I could have met him, but he's dead. Right? There's a bit in it where Anthony Hopkins shows off John Merrick to a group of surgeons, and he's naked, and Anthony Hopkins is going, you see the deformation of the spine, the limbs, are the only things that are totally normal and untouched are the... And Carl went, think of that, the one thing you would want like an elephant, and he gets the head.
But it's funny, Carl's never trying to be funny. It just everything he says just happens to be genius.
Honestly, he talks in one-liners that comedians would die for, and he doesn't mean them. He just because he's childlike. There's never any malice. He's got no filter. There's no pretensions. I sent him around the world because I knew it would be out of his comfort zone. And
it's a show, Carl Pilkington Around the World. You're doing it again.
Yeah, it's called An Idiot Abroad. He didn't come up with the title. He didn't even know it was the title until he saw the billboards. It's just great. It's like one big experiment. Like, you know, like you muck around and annoy mates?
Yes.
I do that on a global scale.
Yes.
Yeah. We're backed by millions. And I've just sent him around again. Idiot Abroad 3 is coming to Science Channel next year.
You've teamed him up with someone this time, is that right?
Warwick Davis, who's the dwarf actor. Well, he's an actor. He's a dwarf.
Yeah. And
That's
you've
not
seen...
his title, dwarf actor. He's an actor, and he happens to be a dwarf. I don't know why.
That's none of the business.
He doesn't put that on his. Yeah. Well, it's because I told Carl once that when Dick Whittington, he apparently walked to London and became mayor, and he took his cat, and Carl went, "Why would you take a cat?" He said, he must have walked twice as far because cats wander. And he said, also, why didn't he take a little mate? So I've given him a little mate.
And does he gets along with Warwick?
No, he doesn't get along.
They don't get along?
No, they're arguing all the time. It's honestly, it's the best series so far because they just bicker. And Warwick's so gregarious and normal. And I stitched it up, so I always gave Warwick a better room and made sure Carl saw that. And Carl's like next to a toilet with it's just so funny. And I was editing the final episode, and Carl asked Warwick the funniest question I've ever heard anyone ask, and he's totally serious. He said to Warwick, he went, "Have you got knees?"
What does he think of this?
And Warwick just laughed. Warwick just went, he went, yes, I have, yes.
Have you watched Black Mirror?
Oh, no, I haven't, but it's...
Have you seen the thing?
The one about the body that we did on the podcast?
There's like a couple of them.
No, I haven't. I've heard of it. Everyone tweeted me.
There's YouTube
I didn't see
stuff.
that one.
So
Shit.
there's Carl from Ricky's podcast, from the old podcast, predicted episodes of Black Mirror. Like they took, or the people who make Black Mirror heard this thing.
Well, I think that's more likely because Carl had a thing that he wished that when you went to the doctor could put you in a thing, and the doctor could feel what you were feeling, so he'd know because it's hard to describe the pain. And that was it. And I was going, so hold on, how would this work? Right? He had other ideas, like he said, "I've invented something." I go, "What?" He said, "See-through skin." Well, you can't do it. You can't say I've invented something and then go, "Oh, I don't know the details yet," but just get on with it.
Right.
You know. So it's mental stuff he came up with. So it was perfect for this. But yeah, I didn't see it, but everyone said
I'm in the middle of that one now. Actually, the doctor who has the thing in his neck. It's really fascinating.
It's just funny because on the YouTube video, like they take from the podcast and the animated series, and they show like the setup for it, and then they show it in the episode, and then they show like you and Steven going like, "Why would it do this?" And then Carl explains this, and then they show it in the episode.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I just had a medical, right? I have it every year, right? And I asked the doctor, right, why still the finger? And they've got now what is it called? Where they can tell if you've got prostate problems from a urine test. He went, but that only's one side of it. You can tell if it's early so the finger's never going away. The finger is never going away.
Oh, you were saying, why do you still? Oh, I thought you wanted an upgrade.
All this stuff. They were taking blood samples and they were showing everything. But then he said, "No, I've got to stick my finger up."
Oh,
right?
you said, why still the finger?
Why still the finger? Yeah, and it's just not going away. They always need someone to feel it first because it's early stages and that. So
yeah, and you can fidget around in there.
That sounds like there's some doctors though that want to hold back some technology because they really I think manually is the way to do this.
Well, I go there every year and it's always and this guy is a big guy as well, and I thought, well, he's going to have a fucking huge finger.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, and it's not the worst thing. The worst now as well because they seem to hurt more. I don't know if I'm more sensitive or because I'm thinking about it, they sort of shrink. So he has to dig in now and get my balls out of their
shrink up
like a little turtle going into their shell. You know what I mean?
Testicles,
yeah, because I'm so nervous now about a fucking squeeze.
The skin kind of hornet's nest up against your
honestly,
body.
He has to dig them out now.
I've heard about like somebody's like going back in when they get nervous or cold or whatever. I've never heard of somebody's going back into their body.
It must be a nervous reaction. I don't know. Which is odd because my are longer and stretchier than they've ever been. But so they should be easy. I mean, he could probably do it from across the other side of the room. But no, they were shrunk. So
Lou Reed, Satellite of Love. I've loved that song for, I don't know, 45 years. What an amazing, innovative talent. That's the first song I used, I think. Oh no, it was the last song in Ep 1, Series 1 of Afterlife. My fat red face. I've done a bath. It's a bright in it. Is that better? No, it's still red. I've just got a red face. Can you put a filter on as you go along, like people do on Instagram, and make me look all lovely and tanned and no. Right. So this was going to be the last one, but I'm going to say it again. You will not get another person of my stature doing this. You won't get any other directors, and you won't get stand-ups of my. You won't get Seinfeld doing this shit. He's above it. You won't get directors doing it. Spielberg, Tom Hooper, to name. You would not get actor. You will not get George Clooney doing this. Nothing. No knighthood. People think I'm serious when I go to no fucking knighthood. I liked what Robert Smith, The Cure, said about a knighthood. He went, I don't want a fucking an award from the Royal Family. He said, I'm better than you. How dare you give me an award? Oh, I've always liked The Cure. Anyway, how have you been? I saw a funny thing on Twitter today. I can't really use it in my stand-up, but it would really be a good jumping off point. So someone without irony was having a go at someone for this book. I read a book, right, that they said promotes fascism. I think it was a thing about free speech. So it's one of those things that, you know, if you're right wing, you're a fascist, right? So that's one thing, right? But what they said in this tweet was, remember, without irony, they said, this book promotes fascism. It should be burnt. Is there anything more fascist now? I mean, there's just the word fascist now. It just means someone you don't like, really. Someone who wouldn't let you park there. And, you know, a while ago I would have retweeted it or argued, but now you look at their profile and you go, oh, it's just a series of slogans and acronyms and abbreviations. It's the equivalent of like a 15-year-old wearing a jean jacket with 1,000 badges telling you what they like and what they don't. What gets me in some profiles, right, is they have things like, in their profile, they have things like human rights. Yeah? Like, yeah, good. Well, like we're meant to go, what, you're for human rights? That is amazing. That's amazing that you're for human rights. Well done. Well done, mate. Anti-fascist. Really? You're anti-fascist? Well, fucking hell. Are you anti-murder as well? It's like we're meant to go, well, this guy, he's for human rights and he doesn't like murdering people. So, and I look at their little avatar and it's usually a cartoon unicorn with blue hair. And I think, well, if they're anti-fascist and they're human, then I'm going to stop murdering because I want to be just like... Oh, God. It's funny, isn't it? It's a funny old world. Let's do some questions. Lindsay. Oh, it's 1 year since we lost Ollie. Lovely Ollie. And that's how all this started. This is the club, really. This is the Ollie Club. All the people that tune in every week and ask me stupid questions. All the cats and dogs that ask me stupid questions. They're in the sort of Ollie family. So that's been lovely. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this. I look forward to this now, and I feel really good after a nice chat with lovely people. It's better than an interview, because after an interview I go, oh, that was a snidey question, or did I answer that right, or they're going to take that the wrong way, oh, that's the headline. Whereas this, I don't give a fuck, because you know. It's like talking to 200,000 mates. So thank you thank you for all that, but it's not over yet. Lindsay, we all knew kids who were funny and had a funny parent and cousin on that side of the family that were funny too. But their sibling, other parent, and that side of the family were misery guts. Do you think, given that a funny gene could exist? Well, yeah. Well, maybe not specifically, but I think they have isolated a gene for something like that. I don't think specifically giving you a good sense of humour or comedy, but there is. I remember reading there is something about, you know, funny can be passed on. I think mainly it's environmental. There is a nature versus nurture argument, and I think, you know, both, because I think it probably is environmental that you're coaxed into it. And I think there was an experiment where women and men were sort of wired up and watched comedy, and women were more triggered because women like funny men because it shows good genes for parenting, which I don't know how, but I suppose if you're funny, you've probably got a good outlook on life. I think it's also a sign of intelligence as well, and it's also a social power, isn't it? People are funny because it gives them an advantage in life. It's no coincidence that, you know, you don't need to be funny if you're 6'5" and brilliant at fighting, and you know what I mean. You don't have to be funny. So I think there is something to do with it. You know, there must be some sort of social advantage for being funny. So it probably is some sort of selective process, sort of group selection. So I think it's a bit of both. So I think you know, there probably is a funny gene, not literally, but there is something like that, and that's what I don't believe that thing that men are funnier than women. I don't think that's true. I think men try to be funnier more than women because obviously women, evolutionarily speaking, demand showing off. So it might be that. I don't know. But yeah, I think there probably is. It's a bit of both, a bit of nature and nurture going on. I should ask Sam Harris that. He knows everything, which is annoying, isn't it? Leopold and Loveday. We will miss Ricky's bollocks terribly. Think of someone just tuning in. Just like a weird love letter from two cats. It's like Keats. We will miss your bollocks terribly. We wish you all the love this universe has to give. Could you please sing us a happy song? Oh God! All right, a happy song. Well, I only know. I'll do a Brent song, shall I? Oh, this is kill two birds with one stone because someone, is it Leanne or Leanne, wanted me to do an American accent, and Brent sings his songs in an American accent. So this is two birds with one stone. What's the happiest Brent song? Ooh la la, right. Sold my shack in Memphis, bought me a Chevrolet, 6-string in the back and a bottle of Jack, and I headed down to Mexico way, singing ooh la la la, ooh la 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 lay, ooh la 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 la. It's a beautiful day. Oh, it's a beautiful day. There you go. Ooh La La by David Brent, sung by me in an American accent. 2 questions for the price of 1. And there's probably a backlog, isn't there, of people that are waiting for loads of shows that didn't got. Oh, fucking hell. It's a nightmare. I'm not doing it anymore. It's too hard. It's too stressful. just going to do this, shit like this, and the odd stand-up going to a country I like, just pottering around. A retired global megastar. I think I could do it. I think I could still be a global megastar and do as much, but in a lazy way. So, like Jerry Seinfeld, he doesn't do a new show every time. He rolls it over. He's got like a generic, you're seeing Jerry Seinfeld. He said he's like General Motors, he just fires the bottom 10% sort of every year. So, you know, it evolves, but I don't know whether that was an English thing because of Edinburgh, where you had to do a new show every year, or the DVD market when that was big at Christmas. Now it's different. Now if I had like, I just did the greatest, like the Rolling Stones, that's what I do. I'd just be like the Rolling Stones. After Supernature, I'd do the best of and just, you know, do some new stuff every... Think how much new material I came up doing this shite. This is more shit comedy than anyone's ever produced, ever. And it was all free. I hope that answers your question, Danny. Harry the cat. Mum has a best room that I'm not allowed in. This is where I spend most of my time. If caught, I roll on my back, engage cute eyes, and voila. Do you have a Miss Pickle Free zone? Or has she got you up to around her paw? Well, she sort of goes where she wants, except we have to watch the front door. Because she's so curious. She wants to get in every cupboard, get on every... You can see her looking at stuff. You know what I mean? Like a high shelf. And she thinks, I haven't been up there yet. And you want to go, well, don't try that because you're going to knock everything over, you fucking hefty idiot. Right? So you have to sort of keep it up. She tries to get on stuff. She gets in things. She gets in the freezer. You know, if you open the oven, it's like, oh. But there's nowhere she can't go. Ollie wasn't allowed in the bedroom because she weed on the bed once. We couldn't trust her. So no, Pickle's sort of allowed to go anywhere. You just got to watch her in case you shut her in. She just follows you. If she's asleep, right, and Jane gets up to go somewhere, she'll go, what's she doing? What, Mum, what you... And then she'll run because she's scared of missing anything. Oh God. Dougal. Bonjour, monsieur Ricky. I recently had to wear the cone of shame. Oh, I feel sorry for dogs. Dougal's a little French bulldog. For quite a long period of time, and I was a little depressed. But I have now convalescing. What's the worstest thing you've had to wear, and why? I haven't had to wear. I mean, I've worn some terrible things, but they were by choice because it was the 80s. I probably worse things in the 70s, in adolescence. But were they bad at the time? Probably not. I mean, I think that you look back and you go, fuck me, look at my hair. But at the time, you probably thought, fucking hell, look at my hair. So, I'm not really ashamed of anything I did, because you can't be, because it's relative to the time. But I have had some fashion atrocities. I bought I think it was a lime green jumpsuit once at a jumble sale. And I thought I'd dye that black. Didn't get around to it. I sort of found it 3 years later. What's the worst thing I've had? I've done all the same things that everyone else had relative to the time. Fucking extensions, dyes, bleaching, all that. Terrible clothes that I wouldn't be seen dead in now. What's the worst? What's the worst thing that I didn't want to wear? Probably something for filming. Oh, I remember I had one day with a beard on, a fake beard on the invention of lying. And I I had to be fitted. I didn't want to do it every day because that's a fucking pain. That's 3 hours. Fuck that. Even for one day, no. Right? I said we'll make it. We'll fit it and have it made. Right? Cost twice as much, but I didn't want 2 hours in the chair. So they did a mould. They fitted it and they got the things right. Then went away and made it, and and then they put it on in 2 pieces on the day. And they said to me, "Oh, this is real human hair." And I thought, I wish they hadn't told me that, because that just gave me the creeps. So I had it on all day, but I took it off for my lunch, and I had to do it again, because I couldn't bear the idea of the fork going in, touching someone else's fucking beard on the way in. And it just felt horrible. And I kept gluing it, and yeah, that's the worst thing. Second worst, I didn't enjoy the lemur outfit in the Muppet movie. I was mildly embarrassed. It was a little bit tight. So, yeah. Fucking human hair, beard, not mine. Lemur outfit. Those are my 2 worst things. Bella, you awaken to discover overnight you have grown a full coat of hair. Here we go again. Look. Literally all over your body, face included, just like me. Bella's a dog. We could almost be twins. What do? Shave it all off every day, other than the bit on the top of your head, which you can slick back and no one would know any different. That's a fucking pain, isn't it? I've only grown this because I can't be bothered to shave every day. Most of my decisions in life are about laziness and comfort and time saved. That's why I've got 10 pairs of black pyjamas, 5 pairs of black sweatpants. I haven't been wearing underpants during the pandemic, no point. I've had this jumper on for about a month now because the dry cleaner was shut. Covered in cat hair and food, probably. If I was to soak this in hot water, I could make a nice soup. Quite nutritional. Shave it all off every day. No. Just embrace your new look. That beats shaving off every day for me. Even though people would go, fuck me, look, hairy dog boy. I go, yeah, but at least I didn't have to shave my whole body today. So, number 2 is winning at the moment. Start a new career with me as the hairy twins double act. See, it's already paid off. I'd embrace my new look. So I'm hairy all over. I feel hot, wouldn't I, in the summer? But then I'm laughing in the winter. I'd just go with it. I wouldn't give a... you know what I mean? I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that... I mean, my career would have been different, I would have thought. I'd be in a circus. I sort of am. I don't know, really. Satire. Yeah, just embrace it. Grow it. Would I molt? Do all dogs molt? I heard that, is this true? That the doodle, the labradoodle, whatever, the cockapoo, dogs were bred with poodles because poodles were sort of hyperallergenic. They didn't have the dander or they didn't molt. So people who were allergic to dogs weren't allergic to poodles. Is that true? So that was sort of the invention of the doodle. That you could have a, can that be true? Or is it just fashion? Is that bullshit? Someone might know. Slow down, I've been talking too much. Joey, would you rather wake up as a 10-year-old from the neck up or the neck down? Fucking hell! So I wake up and I've either got a puny little 3-foot body and this old fat head, God, that'd hurt my neck, wouldn't it? Or my fat old 5'8" body with a tiny little young head. It can't be that one. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, Joey, you always ask the word. I'm going to ask Sam Harris this one. Oh, God. Well, hold on, though. Right, so I think the little 10-year-old body, because then all my organs would be great. I'd be shorter, right, and look a bit weird. But I assume that would grow so soon. So in 8 years, I'd have an 18-year-old body. So you wouldn't really. So in height and everything, you wouldn't tell the difference. And I'd have a great liver. I'd be getting older, wrinkled, but I'd be wise. I think you can't have you can't have my fat old body and a little 10-year-old's head. I've got to go. For fuck's sake. Great question, Joey, you idiot. Titch, have you considered making Derek the movie? He could rescue some animals and start his own sanctuary. I haven't. I don't really consider bringing anything back. I don't think I'll ever bring back The Office or Extras or Derek. Never say never, but they're never as good. People think they want it, and even if it is as good, people go, oh, that's not the same, because their memory is 15 years ago when they first saw it, and so probably not. A movie would be funny. I think it'd be too sad for a movie, wouldn't it? It'd be too sad. And it could be sweet, like his very own little Ring of Bright Water or Robinson Crusoe, but with Derek. He's, you know. I like the idea. I don't think I will, but it's a nice idea. Maybe I'll bring Derek back for something one day, a little Zoom. Kiki, say you had a choice of being a pit bull, a beagle, or a schnauzer. Which would you be and why? Keep in mind your owner is a 50-year-old man who lives in a cabin in the woods, but has farm animals and 2 house cats. It's got to be the beagle. I don't know. Well, just because I know he'd love it, wouldn't he? They follow their nose. They'd be out in the woods. I mean, all dogs are great, but I think the beagle might appreciate that life more. Me as a beagle, I would. Final question. Andy, what would it take for you to host the Golden Globes again? Oh, not the same without you. Thank you. I don't know. Again, never say never. But I can't keep doing it. That is so stressful. It ruins Christmas because I have to worry about writing jokes. They're hard coming up with those jokes because it's not what I do usually. And they've got to work. You can't even practice them. So it's I don't think people know how hard it is to just do it. But then to really fucking go for it. Get those jokes past censors. Say things to people's faces. Actually say it in front of huge corporations, CEOs, you know, the biggest producers, broadcasters of the world. It fucking. I do it like I couldn't give a shit, but it's hard work. It's hard work to do it as well as you can, because this is simple. You don't just even if you come up with how good it is, a lot of people worry about it, so you've got to fight to make it good, even if you've come up with something that's good, because everyone's scared of fucking complaints and everyone wants to please everyone, and that's why they're usually anodyne. So it's tough to get your own way to make it as good as you know you can make it, and I don't know why I bother. You'll miss me when I'm gone. You'll go, oh, we shouldn't have bothered him. We should have just let him do what he wants. He knows what he was doing. But we right, there you go. 3 more to go. Thanks very much, everyone. Look at my fat, shiny, red, fucking... How can I be both plump and wrinkled? That's impossible. I've done the impossible. Tatty bye, everyone. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye.